Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining our last school site council meeting. Okay, we're waiting for a few more folks. I went ahead and placed the link to the agenda in the chat. Ms. Gonzalez, can you let me know if there's folks there in person and when we have enough?
No, no one in person.
Okay.
Bobby, are you joining?
We just need one more person, I think, to have quorum.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Ms. Gonzalez, can you verify that we have quorum to initiate the meeting?
I know Fabiola is joining us. She's just finishing up an email. So let's see, we have one, two, and that would be three staff members and three parents. So as soon as she joins in, we'll have quorum. And I know Dr. Coloma said she's gonna join a little late Zoom. I know she's not part of the committee, but just as another person, she'll be joining in a little bit.
Okay.
I know Miss Angel did not mention. Let me see if she was gonna join. Second.
If anybody has any of either Miss Childress or Miss Angel, if we
Miss
can nudge.
Childress, I know she did tell me she's not going to be able to join us, but I just texted Miss Angel.
Okay. Maybe Fabi can join the Zoom while she
Yeah, I'm
her
gonna
email.
talk her.
Multitask. We have a full agenda.
Angel no me contesta. Angel no me contesta y Childress I know was not gonna be. She's doing that with the dentist. If I was joining.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that.
Oh, there's Miss Angel too. Okay.
Wonderful. So at 2:50, I would like to call our meeting to order. It looks like we have quorum now to begin. So welcome everyone to our final school site council meeting for the academic year. In the chat, I will go ahead and place both the agenda for today as well as the sign-in sheet. If you can go ahead and take a moment to open up both of those documents. And I will go ahead and turn it over to Ms. Vicente.
Hello, everyone. Happy last meeting of the year. The minutes are in the chat. If you can click on it and look through it. Let me put it, let me cop, let me put
Hello,
it,
I'm sorry for being late. Sorry.
oh,
I'm here.
let me post it again because I know when you come in a little later, it doesn't, you can't see the previous items in the chat. So
Okay.
let me put that back in, let me.
Can you sign for me if you don't mind?
I
Yes.
got it, Fabi.
Thank you.
There's the minutes.
Okay.
I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second that.
Those, okay. Those who approve of the minutes, say aye.
I
Yay.
Aye.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's going to bring us into if we have any reports from DAC or DLAC or ELAC.
I do.
Go ahead, Mr. Felix.
Okay. At the most recent meeting, the district focused on closing the loop by explaining how parents' feedback will turn into action. A key update was that the move from map testing to iReady to create more consistency across schools and provide teachers with better data and instructional support. Parents asked important questions about student privacy, program costs, and whether iReady results will actually lead to change in instruction. The district also discussed expanding real-world opportunities for students, including internships, apprenticeships, CTE pathways, and college or career explorations. The main takeaway is that parents want clear communications, consistent consistent follow-through, and proof that these recommendations will lead to real improvements for students. That's all I have.
I just have a brief for the ELAC. We were going to go ahead and do the reclassification recognition during our trimester awards. Just the timing didn't work out, but we will be recognizing a note of reminding parents. So those will be happening during our trimester awards during the 20th and the 22nd.
May I ask if a separate communication will be sent out to those parents, letting them know that this is a high stakes award that their child will be receiving?
Yes, that's actually I'm printing the certificates as we speak, and that'll they get the invite that everyone else gets for the dates and times as the other ones. So that'll be going out this week.
I see Ms. Vicente has a hand.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Miss Melendez, because teachers, we don't have that, Miss Gonzalez. We may not know, just on the top of our heads who's reclassifying. That's not from our class. So that's a good one because they're not on our radar at all. Like it's the one in from my class. He's not readily available to my memory.
Yeah, no, I have the list that Dr. Coloma provided for me, so I'll be sending those out to the parents directly from me, so that they know that they're actually going to be recognized. We've done that like that before, except we used to do it in the second trimester. So this time we're just doing it in the third trimester, and they this time what's different is the medals were provided by the district. Before we were providing the medals for a reclass, but now they sent them for us, so we'll be doing that.
Perfect. Any of the other updates that we have available?
Not on my end.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead, given our time is very short today, I'm going to go ahead and move into public input if we have any. Okay, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and move us in right into new business. So for our new business, the first one up is our 2025-26 SIPSA annual review of goals 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
Okay, and this is the same document that was shared previously. I went ahead and added some of the pieces that were now available. At the again, the attendance data, I just highlighted the areas that are included on there. The biggest piece that we did have a decrease in chronic absenteeism, which is at a positive. And I see that some of you guys had some recommendations as far as what to do at the beginning of the school year and high-level calendar events, as well as opportunity and fundraising. I'll touch on that in a little bit because I did meet with a few parents and I have that available already. So the another positive is increased attendance rate. So we want to increase how many students are in school every day. So that increase as of the 27th when I presented last, and what we have so far, it has continued with the positive increase. Okay. On this one, as far as the volunteering opportunities, I have created a calendar of events and possible fundraising, as well as possible events, decorations. I will be sending out to those interested. I'll send out a communication of those that are interested in helping in the school. I have events from August all the way to May of next year, and with not only activities that are happening, potential dates, as well as fundraising opportunities. Once I already have about 4 parents that said yes, so I'm sending it to those, and then I'll be recruiting more parents, and it'll be a Gmail account, a Google document that they have option to make comments and additions to that, but that's all ready to go.
If I can make a recommendation that any volunteer announcements be made through Parent Square and open to everyone, just to make sure that we can capture as many eyes on the document as possible.
Correct, yes. As the next item we did cover, improvement in scores, percentages overall that they were highlighted. I did make mention of that previously, just reviewing that. I did mention that no money was used for this year, but we will need money next year as we are moving, as Mr. Felix mentioned, from MAP to iReady. So we will be needing money for training, even though we did not use it this time. We have been told that we need to allocate some money in there. For the other one, more of the money allocated was used as mostly due for assessment. Because of the assessment, it was new. Previously, teachers had 1/2 day to conduct the testing. We were given by the district 1/2, and then we added the other half. And in some cases, teachers needed more time to assess. So there was an increase in funds because of this new assessment. We have used DIBELS, but it's a bigger piece of DIBELS that we're using. So several teachers needed a little bit more, as well as some other assessment opportunities that the teachers needed. For computer extra pay, we haven't used it in the last couple of years, so we won't be needing this. And it's mostly because she's now full-time, where before she wasn't. So that's one of the things that I did want to mention. Money was not used, and we don't anticipate using it. For the culture and rigor, organizational materials, obviously the gender agendas, some of the materials that we typically use for AVID, obviously those were ordered. In looking for just a little tidbit, we looked at ways to cut costs, and I'll share some of those shortly. But basically looking at going from binders to folders, so it's a little bit cheaper on the organizational piece, still continuing the organizational piece for AVID, but now using the higher cost binders. Okay. For also creating a culture of rigor. Overall, we've had students that have been attending homework club. It's still about an average of 8. I did send out that we include, obviously that it will be concluding on the 22nd. And as far as something that this is, yes, a parent-initiated event. And when we look at next year's budget, I have proposed that as well to continue. There's a few days that there's more students in there. What has really helped is getting, more staff members that are willing to support there. And then in positive behavior for PBIS, we do buy Title I allowable materials for the student store. The other stuff that is not allowable is purchased through either general fund or donations from people that bring stuff. So that all those items were on there. And Mr. Cortez, I believe, try to do the last one. I'll get more feedback from him as far as if he's doing a end of the year. Okay. This year, we did not use any funds for any hardware, but we are anticipating some new devices or peripherals that need to be replaced, as well as lamps on the projectors. So even though we did not use it on there, we anticipate some of them as they're getting older, and there won't be a district refresh for now because all the equipment that we got, most of it was through COVID funds. Okay, and that's the goal number 1. The pieces that we included on here are the things that we buy are also to increase the performance on our MAP reading scores and also on DIBELS. So again, I highlighted in green when it was a positive and kind of a pink if it was a decrease. And the other piece that I did add is so that you have a comparison as to how the district scored compared to us. For example, I won't go through all of them, but our school scored 29% on the second grade writing reading according to MAP, and the district scored 34. For third grade, we scored 45. And the district as a whole, including us, is 38. So for comparison's sake as well. And so teachers today, we're wrapping up some of the items we discussed at IoT as far as subscriptions, what to keep, what to limit. Most of the programs that we're currently using, they wanted to continue, but we're looking at maybe not everybody wants Starfall. So the subscription that we get will be for a smaller group of people, so the cost can be brought down. Okay, so those are some of the items that are actually included in there. And as I mentioned, today during collaboration, they're doing the final touch-ups on that. Okay. Again, printing of intervention materials is included also in there, primarily for primary with high-frequency words, as well as the SIPS books. Okay, DIBELS scores, I put in the winter. The spring, we are currently taking that test. It closes on the 22nd. So the items are right now blank. Okay. For the other item is intervention, both materials as well as extra duty pay. We did, again, looking at the composite and the map, it did affect some of those individual students that did attend intervention. We'll be completing the report to present at the beginning of the school year, as some kids are finishing up intervention. We had one last teacher that is finishing up intervention in the next week or 2, a couple of days more, and we'll provide how many kids grew that received intervention. Okay. Brain Pop focuses not only in ELA, but also ELD. It's a supplemental support. What I did is I included the scores for LPAC as well as MAP reading, but only looked at the students that are English learners. For the LPAC, we looked at comparison year from one year to the other, and how they, there was some growth, and the highest level that we want is level 4. So this test for this year, obviously we don't have the scores. We had a couple of students that they were finishing up last week, and then our special ed are more moderate to severe. We're just finishing it up, so we don't have the scores for next year, but we want more students here. However, once they get there, that's when they reclassify. Reclassification rate for this year was 7.1%. I tried to get the one from last year, but I'll still look for that one. I was not able to readily find it in one of the programs that we have that is available. Okay. And then, as I mentioned, I looked at map reading, specifically looking at English learners, because that's one of the items that our ELAC team wanted to look. How are the English learning doing compared to the rest of the district? I did notice there's a couple of the district ones. I'll go ahead and include those in there. But overall, it mirrors some of the progress that the general population increase and decrease, but this is just specifically looking at English learners. Included in the yield is the subscription to Scholastic News. Again, we are looking at what grade levels in which teachers do want that, as not everybody was interested. So we're looking at cutting costs here once we know who specifically would like to keep it, because it is a good resource, especially for our younger kids. Okay. And again, those are the grades for MAP in each of the grades. On MAP, we also look at, besides the students that are on grade level, we look at growth. As you look at for our English learners and growth, in 24-25, we had 28% that had met their growth target. And this year we've had 52% of the students that met the growth target. And that's including all grades, all the students that took the reading, which is 2nd through 5th. Okay. And so that's what that references. And then on the district one, there was 47 compared to 52 at Martin Elementary. So that's the other item that is included, not just being on grade level, but meeting their target growth.
For I have a question.
Yes,
No, I was just clapping silently.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, kudos to our teachers and our support staff that's been helping with that. And then again, we did do some intervention for our English learners specifically. We did a smaller chunk because some of the students that received general intervention were English learners. And then in addition to that, the district did give us additional money for that. So once we have the final data as far as which of the EL learners attended and how much growth they would be, that would be included in there. Transportation and student admissions. Obviously, we had those, and I'll report in a second where those monies are. The one thing that we're changing based on my conversation with ILT, we will have a date in October by where all the grades need to submit all their field trips, and we're trying to see, we had a lot of success with our 5th graders going to Cal State Fullerton, so I'd like to be able to send 4th and 5th grade and possibly 3rd for a visit to campus, so they get to see what that looks like, and it'll be one of the additional field trips, which there's really no cost except the transportation, because we do not have to do student admission for that. It's just a matter of scheduling, and that would also have to be scheduled no later than the end of October. So we have it ready, whether it's in the spring or the winter. Okay. And that not only ties in with experiences, but also ties back into goal 1, which is the culture, rigorous culture and experiences for higher education.
I see a hand, Ms. Vicente.
Maybe you already have it, Ms. Gonzalez, but a suggestion of just a document, maybe just school-wide, of like these field trips, so that, like a 5th grade teacher, if they plan on going to someplace else, but 2 years ago, 3rd grade already went there, that kind of thing, like history-wise, to build just a sense of, oh, this is what's done, what's been done before, so that we can so that teachers, as they come in and out of school, our school, can find out, oh, okay, these are the places, where we've been to or we've not been to, but just the document to just keep everything,
Yes,
maybe?
I actually have the document going back to when we started with the field trips with one tab for each of the years. What I'll be doing is just sharing it out with you guys, and then you would be filling in your field trips and attaching
Yeah.
the paperwork. I do keep that document from year to year. So it would now
So
the only difference will be I'll be sharing it with you guys.
I think
that would be
maybe
nice as a teacher.
to add it minimizes repetition. I know my child has been to Tanaka Farms like 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just share that out as well, especially included with all the documents that are needed for that. For math, again, it was highly recommended by the teachers. They wanted to continue with reflex math. Obviously, it focuses more on certain grades. So what we're looking at the reduction of costs is just the grades that want to use it and feel that is very helpful, especially with the facts and practice to continue that. And again, the scores here for math, as we did with reading, with pink being a decrease and green being an increase for each of the grades. In math, we do start with kinder in the middle or the end, so we don't have a fall score for them. But I did compare one grade to the last year to this year, and then just as we did with reading, we also look at the growth of all grades. We went from 46 to 57 this year, 11% increase, and compared to the district, we at 48. So our students did better than the rest of the district in the same grades. Okay. And then intervention, as well as reading during the time that they were doing reading and math. And this was primarily during the same time for after-school intervention. During the in-school intervention, there was two separate teachers, one that was doing reading and one that was doing math. So we did provide that during the school day and after school or before school. And obviously what we want the numbers to increase, and that's what that shows. For goal 6, child supervision in general, either for events, we do continue to offer for the parent meetings. We've only had, I believe, one family take advantage of that, but we will continue to do that in the year. We've actually had a little bit of an increase with some parents coming in to our last parent meeting with young little ones. So we encourage them, to bring them with them, and they can be kept busy somewhere else. But we started seeing a small uptick with that. So it was nice to see that. And then obviously we were able to utilize extra pay for our phase liaison as well as materials to support parent engagement. I do want to have a little plug in here. Miss Ursula is out on maternity leave. I just received notification that we will be having someone here to support us for now 2 days a week and with special events. So I have her name and I'll be sending communication today to let everyone know that if they do need support, because she did not turn in her cell phone, it will be communication directly to the front office, and we will be connecting with this new individual that will be supporting us in the meantime. Okay. And again, we've been holding at least 1 to 2 SST meetings a month, and this helps to pay for the teachers to be released from their classroom duties to attend with parents. I have to do the final count as far as how many SST meetings we were able to hold. We did have a lot of students that we referred for special education. It's a little bit over 15 students that were referred for special education. Students that received intervention were not quite showing the growth that we're anticipating. Therefore, they were considered referred to the next year, which possibly qualify for special education. And that helped the teachers to be able to attend those meetings and present their intervention results. Okay. And I did forget to mention at the beginning, at the very top of this document, because it ties into the funds, it is the budget that we've been using every time. And with the updated monies, there's still some We have one more teacher that will be adding costs, a lot of other costs with classified, but you're able to see how much money we allocated versus how much was spent on all the items. We do have included on there just for your reference to see that $1,122 of the $1,000 that was allocated for entry fee has been spent. We are waiting for a few more bills on field trips that have been happening this month, and that'll round us up in that area. So come June, the end of June, everything should be in, and I'll update this for reference for next year. So again, that's available on the same document because I'm sorry, it does reference the same items. Okay. And please continue to make any comments or anything on here. I'll be going through it in the next couple of weeks as well, based on your recommendation, answering any questions you might have on this document. Any other questions?
Mr. Felix, did I see you had a question? No? Okay. Okay. Seeing no questions, we have about 30 minutes left of our meeting, so if we can move on to the next item very briefly.
Yes, this one, actually very briefly, this is our budget for next year. I'd like to just note that this is the total that we have been allocated, 79,853. And for your reference, and if we need to come back to we do need to approve it before June 18th, I believe. I took what had been spent and try to match it as close to the amount that we had, mirror basically the same things that we had, especially including the I'm sorry, it's in here, the extra pay for homework club. I kept it the same, especially hoping that we will have more time to support the students and more people as well. All these items, as we get additional funds, can be adjusted. The preliminary approval is just kind of starts the school year, and then when we meet again in September, once we do our training, then it'll be going through making any adjustments on this. But I took pretty close to what we had from before, and the money that was spent, as well as keeping it within budget, so it does not go over 79 on those. So that's pretty much, we are having one less teacher for next year. I'm happy to say it's just one. There's a couple schools that are losing three. But I kept the classroom libraries the same. The only issue is for instructional materials, which is usually I give teachers about 150. We have 2,000 to separate between all the teachers, so that will be reduced, unless at the beginning of the year we make some changes within where the monies are. And that usually doesn't happen until December, when I give them the option to purchase materials for their own classroom, besides what we supply. We supply all the basic materials, so this will be on top of that. And by then, more than likely, we do get an adjustment, a little bit of money, and then we can see, is there leftover monies anywhere else that we can move in here.
Can you clarify, the tab that I'm looking at reads 2025-26, but is that supposed to read 26-27?
Let me see. On this one?
Yes, the tab on the bottom reads 25-26.
Oh, yes, that is. I
so
changed it everywhere except there. Thank you for catching that.
Okay, so this is
right
the
now.
projection for next year then.
Yes, and then for this one is, so this one, let me take off completely, because that is what I'll be doing once we start reporting on the account. So I am including that I presented today. And again, as I mentioned, we can have questions about the budget. If you would like, if there's any approval, I will indicate that in blue on the next tab.
Given that in row number 23, for the extra pay for supervisors and childcare during meetings, given that that hasn't been highly used, can we reallocate some of those funds?
Yes.
Okay, it doesn't have to be within that same classification, right, of classified?
No, it can go to any of the other reclass areas.
Okay. I would recommend reallocating $2,000 of that, 1,000 going into row 25, which is the phase liaison, which you've gone over in this year, in the last 2 years. And then the second one, allocating $1,000 more into row 49, which is the transportation for field trips, since that went down from 14,000 to now.
Okay, let me make,
Yeah.
let's see, $1,000 here. And you said what was the row 40,
Um, it's
the
in the field
transportation, right?
trips, row 49,
Okay,
transportation for field trips.
so that would be 9 there.
Yeah, because that went from 14 to now 10, so that at least brings us back to 11.
And let me just confirm that, yep, they match.
Okay.
Any other recommendations?
And you said the ELAC one is going to go down as well?
I'm sorry, the ELAC for
I'm sorry, ELA, row 41.
row 41. Yes, we are continuing with AR. AR won't change as far as the amount because we still are doing it second through fifth. Starfall, we're focusing on those that want it. And then Brain Pop, where I see the biggest savings, it will be in Reflex as well as Scholastics, which is going to be coming out of the 4,300, which comes out of this one. So not everybody wants it. I have at least so far 2 grade levels that really want it, possibly 3, as opposed to 6 grade levels getting it. So that's going to be a bigger because we get charged per little news, the little newsletter per student. So it's about it depends on the grade. Sometimes it's 50, 60 cents per student,
Yeah,
but I see a big reduction in cost there.
I see Fabiola's hand.
Okay, just to clarify Scholastic newsletter,
Mhm.
it's about $6 per student.
Oh, $6. I'm sorry. I was thinking
$6 per student, just to
yeah.
clarify that.
Thank you for that.
Mhm.
I had the 6 somewhere in there, but I put in the wrong decimal. Thank you for bringing that up. So that's going to
Here.
be our biggest reduction of costs.
Okay.
$6 per student per year.
Yes.
I'm gonna, given that parent engagement was very low this year, I am concerned that we drastically went to just $500. Would we be able to pull another $500 from some other area?
We could actually this one, the 500 and Avid, I reduced it by 100, but I think we're going to be reducing it further. But I don't. I'm trying to think. Might be about closer to 3. So I don't think I can make it a full 500. But if we choose to 3 here, and you can do 7 there, and then as more money comes in, obviously we continue allocating on those. But I can see because we went to now buying the binders, which are Fabi, those are about $5 each or $6.
The binders for Avid
Yes,
is more than that. It's
yeah.
close to $10 per binder.
So I can see that we could reduce this probably to 300 just to be safe. And then we could put the parent engagement up to 7, and that's closer to 1,000. And then as more money comes in, then obviously reallocate it.
I would hate to pull it from the Avid money. Do you know what that number was of row 10, the extra pay for parent family night, parent workshop? Because I would
Let's
rather leave
see.
money in the student pockets than,
Right. This one I reduced quite a bit and we can reduce this one even further.
yeah, I
We
would
can
say
get
maybe going
500
from
out
there
of that
because,
one, easy.
yeah, I would recommend from there because that's a parent to parent as
Okay.
opposed to taking it for something that is student based.
And it still would be a parent engagement because it'll be, directly to parents.
Yeah, but with more
But a
flexibility.
different a different form.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And that still keeps us the same.
Okay. Any other recommendations? No. Okay. Right, thank you. Moving on to the next item then, we have present next.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Do we want to approve it at this point, or do we want to come back in June and approve it?
I don't believe we have a June meeting in the calendar.
No, we would have to add it. That's why I'm asking.
I am fine approving, but I forgot to ask one question. This is Miss Angel. We already allocate money for fifth grade science camp?
I'm sorry for what?
Fifth grade science camp?
Oh, that doesn't come out of here. It's
Oh,
the
that's right.
transportation. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
separate.
okay.
It's not
Okay.
Title I for the actual science camp entry fee.
Mr. Felix is
Yes, I
raising
have a
his hand.
question. The final approval date is June 18th.
Yes.
Is that correct? So from now to the 18th, so it's either we approve it now or at that point?
Or before 18th, because
Before.
that's when I need to submit that school site council has discussed it and approved it.
Okay, that's the only question I have.
And again,
Just
this
to
is a
add
living
the-
document, so it doesn't mean that we're locked into this. It means that when we come back, we do visit it every time, and we make the adjustments based on expenditures and based on if there's a new need or a changing need. We will be visiting every month as far as how much has been spent.
I
To
would move
summarize,
to-
we mirrored last year's budget a little bit. So, and then even if we approve it, we can make changes next year.
Yes.
Okay.
I see Ms. Vicente's hand.
I make a motion to approve the budget as is with flexibility to revise as more funds come in.
Yes.
I second.
Thank you, Fabiola, for seconding that. All who agree say aye.
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 Any nays?
Aye.
Okay. Giving ayes and no nays, this is approved to move forward. Thank you, everyone. Moving on
right.
to new budget item number 3.
Okay, for this one, it is a draft. I did take some of the recommendations, and let me just double check. I don't know if I made everybody, I forgot to make everyone a commenter on this one. This will be again some changes as we move forward. I took the same goals that are indicated with school climate and reworded some of those items. We will have to go back and do the identified need once we have the new data for fall. But I kept it. Let me just go over some of the changes. Attendance is included is one of the required items, and social emotional counseling as well with PBIS. We also looked at the university. I did remove as recommended. U.S. University starts now, but just college awareness. And this is where I hope to be able to include the visits to the college campuses, including the AVID strategies and implementation just in fourth and fifth before we had it some in third. So I made some of those changes. I still have to do some wordsmithing on this one. And they gave us a new tool to use. Is similar to ChatGPT, but it focuses on the SPSA. So we've created the draft with some of the recommendations, and I'll look at the comments that you make down the road, and then I'll wordsmith it as we continue. On goal 1, again, looking at organizational effectiveness and efficiency, providing release time to conduct one-on-one assessments and attending staff training, especially with the new iReady curriculum that's coming up. District will provide some, but not all. Homework club is included in our goal 1 under climate to provide opportunities to support for students that are not in the Engage 360 club to continue with that with the budget that we approved. Obviously, that's where we will be putting the monies in there. Behavior program, PBIS, continue with the Title I allowable prizes we'll do the final tweaks based on student feedback. We typically have a survey that we will be conducting this month to get feedback from students if they like the prizes. Is there something different that they want to see in the prizes? Title I only allows us to purchase items that are school related, but we do, as I mentioned, supplement. But I did include that on there. And then lastly, under Goal 1, I moved this one from ELA to more of Goal 1. ESGI is primarily used by TK and Kinder, and it helps teachers be able to keep track of not only ELA, but math and how the students are doing in learning their letters, their high frequency words, their shapes. And this is a tool that they're able to communicate. So it's a little bit in the culture climate and also into the parent, because it's an easy tool that they're able to utilize to present at parents for parent engagement. So it kind of goes into both places. Okay, it's just a moving in from ELA because we were primarily using it for ELA before. We started exploring the other uses, and it can be used for multiple things as well as we get to maximize the use of this program. Okay, so that's Goal 1. Goal 2 briefly again, it's ELA. With supplemental being purchasing library books for the library and the classrooms. That's what this one to supplement for intervention groups. That's during school day and also beyond the school day, whether it's before school or after school. In the English Learner, which is our next goal, continuing again with the training for any other additional training, continuing the brain pops, so creates more experiences, not just only in ELA, but also in ELD, English Learner Development. So paying for that program that really targets 2 of the subject areas. Field trips is included on here for broadened language experience. And intervention for ELD specific to intervention. We were able to do some intervention for newcomers, intervention for students that were at risk of or close to reclassification, at risk not reclassifying. So they received intervention for that, continuing that as well. For math, again, supplemental when we're looking at reflex math and any other supplemental materials, printing of supplemental materials, intervention for math, both before school, after school, and during the school day for targeted students, and parent engagement, including the communication with 100%, target for 100% back to school. Some of the events that we do in conjunction with Back to School Night, which we don't utilize Title I money, but it does create parent engagement, as well as open house, parent conferences, and family nights. I do have the 2 family nights that I've scheduled on the calendar of events as well, so that we have those ahead of time and having engagement through that. We did start a new collaboration with Saley, which is math with parents, where it's kind of like a mommy and me, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So included in that collaboration would be that. But it's general enough that we can add and change some things for our parents and consultants and volunteers. Again, this is the family nights, family reading and math nights. And I put math and science because we did combine math and science as STEAM. I can just change it to STEAM, or we can have the 3. Unfortunately, what we had with a situation, but we are putting them in the calendar, and we're going to have to try to keep it the same, and then have some people supporting with that. And again, the activity supervisors, the change that we did, I'll change the amounts based on what was approved. But to continue to have that, they are able to help with community events, support of parents again with any childcare. But more than anything, what we've been using them is for whenever we have our events for Back to School open house, they're able to support with some of the activities, and then as well as childcare. Okay, and parent involvement. The SST included would be, as I mentioned before, releasing the teachers, paying for ourselves for parents to meet with parents. And obviously in all this other part here and here, there's funds that have been allocated specifically for materials for parent engagement that was approved. So I would just put the amounts that was approved there. That's why I did not include amounts, because the budget had not been approved yet. So it's pretty close to the same, except with some of the changes. Again, we're just wordsmithing some of the comments. I did, for the most part, took anything that was COVID related out. The recommendations as far as USN, we are going to have a promotional thing where we promote college, a little bit different. Obviously, we're working on the plans, but looking at something, so but not putting a name to it, so it doesn't limit us. But please make additional suggestions. But it is pretty much intact. Yes, Miss Angel.
Remember, is LPAC tutoring in one of these goals, like as part of like career readiness? Because if they don't reclassify, chances are they're not on that path.
It is under ELD, and it is not only training, but it is here in intervention, English language development intervention.
So for intervention, can we start a little bit earlier this year? Not too far away from the LPAC, but we can't cut it that close because the calendar is filled with holes with other things when kids can't attend. So a little bit earlier in the year, let's plan for that.
Okay. Yeah, we started with ELA and math in October. So the plan is to start with that, especially once we have the assessments to go off. With ELD, we could possibly start in January. It's a little bit, so we can look at with ILT what would be the best time, because we do get the scores over the summer for LPAC, the ones that are coming in. We will also have continue to have Summit K-12. Which I know we're just learning it, but I know Ms. Vicente expressed interest in trying to do some tutoring beforehand. So maybe we can even start it in October with us having and utilizing that new program. We didn't have it initially in October from the district, so we started using it when they gave it to us in December. We assessed the kids, and then we started with tutoring in January, February. So now that we have it and we'll have the scores, I think we can start it earlier.
Okay.
Have about 9 minutes left. I see Ms. Vicenta's hand, so if you can just make a note to start that earlier, that would be great.
Yeah, can we also, with that, Summit K-12 is going to be around, can we ask the district for additional training on Summit K-12 so that we could get, we can get that going as early as possible, as solidly as possible, because last time we got it, it was kind of just here, it's brand new, but just a thorough training, maybe even over the summer or one of the staff development days, to hit our goals.
I can arrange for that. I'll let them know. I know he came in, but he kind of discussed other things, but I can have one other member come in and kind of go through things that they've learned from the implementation and teaching us some other tricks. Yes.
Mr. Felix has a hand.
Quick question. When it comes to careers for the kids picking their careers, is there any involvement for parents? Anything that parents can get involved in regards to input on what the kids are getting as to choices of what career path they're selecting, and also when it comes to the software or the programs that the students have, can there be some training for parents as well to help them at home?
Yes, we've had the opportunity to just present it, but we can set aside some time where we can go through it, because for the careers we use Zello. It's college readiness, and that's a district-wide program. But we only presented, I think Mr. Cortez kind of talked a little bit about it, but we can spend time to have you log in as a parent and kind of take a look at it and provide support. And that would be something that our counselor can do as well as our face, so that we can, kind of walk you through what that looks like, not just tell you, oh, here it is, and kind of allow you to look at it. Yes, go ahead.
I see Ms. Angel and then Ms. Vicente.
Oh,
Ms. Vicente, you can go first.
okay. And Mr. Felix, to just give you a flavor of Zello, it's more like an exploration. It's not like a pathway they're choosing. So it's more like, oh, it's very fun and very, like, what interests you? And it's very, it's not like they're deciding. It's more like, oh, what interests you, that kind of thing.
Mhm. It kind of gets them rolling, but it's not like these, and it asks their interests, and based on that, it gives them some ideas that they could, choose something along those lines. But yeah, I think if we were able to do kind of like a workshop where not only show you how to get in, but actually go in and play with it so you can see, because you do have that as a parent.
Miss Angel?
Yeah, I agree with Mr. Felix. It would be a good idea to train the parents that way when the kids do take the Chromebook home. The parents are aware that, for example, if a child asks, well, how much does doctor make, or, something, the parents could remember, and together they can look into it, and maybe the kids will use it a little bit more than they are. But I also wanted to mention, based on what Mr. Felix said, it reminded me that we tried to get a career night or day going last year, or was it this year? I can't remember anymore. Maybe
Both
we
years.
should, yeah.
Mhm.
Was it this year?
Both years.
With both
Yes.
years.
And we have not been able to get that off the ground. So maybe Mr. Felix, you can help us with that. Where parents come in and show what they do in their careers so that kids get more ideas from real people that we know and not just from the computer program Zello.
I think that would be a great
It's a
thing.
great idea.
Mm-hmm.
We have 5 minutes left. If we can move on to the next item, unless there's additional comments here.
Okay. All right. The other items, just for your reference, 5, 6, and 7. I basically took the same parent engagement policy, the parent compact, and the bylaws that we had for this year. We do have to visit it every year and approve it every year. We can either go through them today, or I can put it on the September agenda.
I would make a motion to Ms. Gonzalez, the adjustment to the bylaws is an incorrect link. So I would recommend that we move that one to the start of
Okay.
the academic year.
Okay.
And the parent compact, I would recommend that that be reviewed in September once we get parent input and we get the new teachers that we have on board, the new parents, that they have an opportunity to see what that commitment would look like, and having our new principal or, new administrators kind of review this and ensure that this is what they're agreeing to for the next academic year. So if we can move 6 and 7 to the start of the academic year, that would be great. And then if we wanted to tackle number 5, which is the parent engagement policy, we can do that in the next couple of minutes.
Mhm. As I mentioned, it's basically the same. The only thing I've changed is the dates. So it's the same one that we've had. And all of these 3 items are district templates that we just add pretty much our names to the school. And it's translated. It has all the codes included on there. We did not make any changes to this one in particular last year.
I see Ms. Vicente has a hand.
I think we kind of need to address part of the parent engagement. We only had 23 respondents to the survey. Is there a way we can kind of, again, wordsmith it in there that part of engagement is getting feedback? And I know we have to promote the survey as a school, but that's somehow I feel like we're not getting the data that we need, or the school site council is not getting the data that's needed, just because we don't have enough parents replying to the surveys. Somehow, if we can, is there a way we can put that in, or where would that be?
Yeah.
For
I
clarity,
mean,
Ms. Gonzalez, is this a district, because you just mentioned this is a district policy? Would this,
yes.
the feedback that Ms. Vicente is providing, that would be more appropriate than for the compact, right?
Yes, I think so too.
Okay.
It is included if you go through it, it does allude to it in separate, but this is pretty much actually all three documents are pretty close to the template. We just the one that we do tweak the most is the compact. But the bylaws and the parent engagement, it is the district's document where we just pretty much type our name, and then where it talks about, the school, we sometimes leave the school, sometimes put Glen Martin, or as it applies. So it's this is the same one that I got from Peter, the same one that Peter got from Miss Coloma. I'm sorry, Solomon. And so, I mean, it's the same one that I've had in my other schools as well. So this is just the district template where we just put in our names to the school. And
Okay,
that's the same with the bylaws.
thank you.
Mhm.
Can I get a motion to approve this document? This is the parent engagement policy that we're looking at. Is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the parent and family engagement.
Thank you, Ms. Vicente. Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Mr. Felix. All ayes for approval?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
nays?
Aye.
Seeing no nays, this document is approved. Thank you so much. The next two items, we already proposed a shifting to the start of the academic year. That will be for the parent compact, where I think that feedback would be important. And then the second one being the bylaws to that. Okay. If there are no additional comments, we are at time 3:45, and this is our last scheduled school site council meeting. So thank you, everybody. But I do see a hand, Ms. Vicente. No, just a thank you. Okay, I'll get those motions.
Celebration.
Celebration. So thank you so much, everybody, for serving in this year's school site council meeting. It's been my pleasure to work alongside with you to make sure that our students are represented and supported the best way that we can. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Thank,
you.
thank you, Ms. Melendez. You've been great.
Thank you.
Happy summer.
Yay.